Teacher Nice. My name is Jumel Kaoponoris, and this video is all about the two topics. The first topic is well-written text, and the second is explicit and implicit. We will going to discuss first the first topic, which is well-written text. Let's go.
1. Good morning teacher, good morning classmate. My name is Giri Gulam. This time we'll talk about applying properties of a well-written text. It is said that the organization of ideas is invariably one of the aspects in writing in which it is often highly valued. A well-organized piece of writing is not only clear but also logical and aesthetic. What are the properties of a well-written text? We have the organization, cohesion, or coherence, and language use. Starting with the organization. Organization refers to the arrangement of ideas in a text. You can easily follow good organization when you create an outline of your ideas before you to start writing. Strong organization constitute proper paragraphing and logical order of presentation of ideas. So in organization, it tells us to plan first before you do the actual writing. You have to lay all your information you to identify what you should be focused and for you to fix and to arrange the idea chronologically from the most important to the least important. Under organization is paragraphing. Paragraphing helps us organize ideas to make the paragraph reader friendly, break up the massive words, and use appropriate signals to make a new point in a paragraphing where setting boundaries from an idea to another idea, from one concept to another concept, but still they are related to another and still sticking to our main topic or main focus. And here are the basic tips on how to write a well-organized paragraph. First, each paragraph must be built around a single idea term as the controlling idea. We will only have our main focus or one main topic. Next, create a topic sentence which generally written as opening sentence of the paragraph. This will start our introduction, then an appropriate technique from a variety of ways of developing a paragraph must be employed to develop the topic sentence or the key idea. So it depends on you and how you will write or what technique are you going to use. Is narration, description, illustration, and etc. And finally, in order to achieve unity, appropriate connectiveness between and within paragraphs must be used. Make sure that your ideas within the paragraph is still connected and still have the unity to make compact and solid. The second property of a well-written text is coherence. These are cohesion to basic features that facilitate textual continuity. The terms are used in discourse analysis to describe the properties of a text. When we say coherence, it refers to the unity of ideas, sentences, and paragraphs in a text, while the cohesion refers to the connection of ideas at the sentence level, or in other words, the grammatical aspects of writer. And here is to further elaborate the difference of the two. And coherence, it mainly deals with logic and appropriate organization of the sentences to form meaningful and understandable content, while in cohesion, it focuses more on the lexical syntax and grammar in the sentence formation. In coherence, it is more qualitative property, while the cohesion is the quantitative property. In Coherence, the attribute is decided by the readers, for she or he will determine if the content is being meaningful, is being understanding, critical, and useful, while in cohesion, the attribute will be decided by the writer, in which is brought by using different techniques like repeated words or ideas reference, word transition signal, substitution, and etc. In short, in coherence, it is more of the content. Is it being sensible? Is it being useful? Does it make sense to the reader? And it's more of the message and the question will only focus and more deep on the grammatically structure or physical structure. The content, how it is written by the writer, so that coherence and cohesion. Let's now proceed to the third property of a well-written text. This refers to the acceptable writing style for a particular form of text. As a writer, it is important not only to think what you will say, but how you will say it to communicate effectively. It is not enough to have well-organized ideas expressed in the complete and coherent sentences and paragraphs, because appropriate language increases one's credibility, strengthens his argument, and keeps his confidence. There are 6 characteristics of effective language. We have the concrete and specific language, concise language, familiar language, precise and clear language, constructive language. In the formality of language, concrete and specific language is when it includes descriptions which create tangible informations or tangible image with details that the reader can visualize. Abstract language is vague and obscure and does not bring to mind specific visual image, so you have to be concrete and specific with your word for you to be able to make your writers imagine what you want them to imagine. Concise language, hallmark of an effective writer, is the ability to express their desired message in just few words as possible. As much as possible, you're being direct to the point, telling what you feel, what you want to express in just a brief but effective message. We have the familiar language. Familiar language is that which the readers easily recognize and understand because they use it on a regular basis. One of the most important functions of language is to build homophily, or a sense of commonality with one's reader, being familiar with that language because they're used to it, they're using it on their data basis. Familiarity, as the name implies, familiarity. Next is the precise and clear language. Precise and clear language is the use of appropriate language that is maybe or that is a tricky matter because the meaning of words is relative and situational. This implies that the words can be repeated in different ways by different people in different situations. You may be misinterpreted by different people, by a different audience. We also have the constructive language. Constructive language is the phrases or are the phrases that are potentially negative message in a positive way, whereas destructive language directs blame and criticism toward the reader, creating defensiveness, right? So we're targeting negative message. We're delivering negative message, but in a positive way, we're being defensive in a way that we're not doing offensive. Next is the formality, or at last is the formality of language. Formality language is when one uses should match the formality of the situation and the relationship between the writer and the reader. So it is like being formal to your reader as you want to make an authority or you want to be equal to them. That is formality of language.
Since we're done discussing the first topic, let's go on to the second topic. Let's go.
Good day everyone, my name is Darren Jade Balboa. Our topic for today is all about explicit and implicit. Objectives. Discuss the implicit and explicit. Let's go to the implicit. It indicates something that expressed indirectly or implied. And we have two examples of implicit. Number one example. She had the implicit trust of her staff. Second example. A soldier must give implicit obedience to his officers. And that is example of implicit. And let's go to the explicit. Explicit, it indicates something that is stated directly and clearly. And we have two examples of explicit. Example number one of explicit. He gave me explicit direction on to get there. And number two example of explicit. The explicit statements of objectives is vital before project begins. And that is our topic for today. Thank you.
So guys, those are the meanings of our two topics. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.